To add these two fractions together, 1/6 plus 4/5.
Say,
some problems, the commutative properties can help you solve them. What kind of problems do I mean? How about 2 times 2 times 3 times 3? The commutative property. The order shouldn't matter with these 2s and 3s. With factors and addends you can rearrange them into any order, the solution won't change. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 should equal 2 times 3 times 2 times 3. Let's put it to the test. Work it out, don't guess. 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 9 is 36. Every time. 2 times 3 is 6 times 2, and that's 12, which gets us 36 again. It works out very well. For problems where you add and multiply, the distributive property can be your guide. When multiplying, then adding, the distributive property says you can spread out parts of the problem into simpler steps. Here's a problem where this property could help you find a clue. Find the perimeter of this rectangle. Here is what you do. 2 times width plus 2 times length should equal 2 times width plus length.
They are equivalent expressions. They both say the same thing.
So 2 times 4 plus 3 equals 2 times 7. That's 14. And 8 plus 6 is 14 too. Sure as anything. Associative property rightly claims that however things are grouped, the answer stays the same. So 6 plus 4 plus 8 will equal 6 plus 4 plus 8. Though the grouping changed, the answer stays the same.
Today we're going to be studying equivalent expressions. You need to write down everything that's in black. You'll need it for tomorrow in class. You can pause, rewind, or watch as many times as you need to. So before we get started, you can press pause and get out a sheet of paper to copy some things down. Alright, the first thing we're going to talk about is the commutative property. The word commutative comes from the word commute, which means to move around. This basically means that you can move around different things in a multiplying or adding problem and get the same answer. Remember, the commutative property only works with adding or multiplying. This says that 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2. Or that 4 times 5 is the same as 5 times 4. So let's try a few. Is 5 plus 9 the same as 9 plus 5? Let's look. 5 plus 9 is 14. 9 plus 5 is 14. So yes, that's true. Is 3 times 2 the same as 2 times 3? Let's see. 3 times 2 is 6 and 2 times 3 is 6. So yes, that is the same. So this means that the commutative property says that these are equal. Let's see, is 10 minus 3 the same as 3 minus 10? Well, 10 minus 3 is 7, and 3 minus 10 is negative 7. So no, that is not true. They are not equivalent expressions. What about 20 divided by 2 and 2 divided by 20? Well, 20 divided by 2 is 10, and 2 divided by 20 is 0.1, so no, they are not equivalent expressions through the cumulative property. Alright, let's talk about the distributive property. This comes from distributing multiplication across parentheses, and we'll study this a little more in depth later, but we're just talking about equivalent expressions right now. The distributive property tells us that 4 times 2 plus 3 is the same as 8 plus 12. Or that 15 plus 10 is the same as 5 times 3 plus 2. That's what the distributive property tells us. Let's try a few. Let's see, 2 times 6 plus 2, is that equal to 12 plus 4? Let's see. Well, 6 plus 2 is 8, and 2 times 8 is 16. So here on the other side, well, 12 plus 4 is 16, so 16 equals 16, so yes, that's true, they're equivalent expressions. And it's true because of the distributive property. Let's try this one. 15 plus 3 and 3 times 5 plus 1. Let's see. Well, 15 plus 3 is 18. Over here on the other side, 3 times 5 plus 1. Well, 5 plus 1 is 6, and 3 times 6 is 18, so yes, it is equal. They are equivalent expressions. What about 2 times 3 plus 1? Does that equal 6 plus 1? Let's see. 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 6 plus 1 is 7. And 8 does not equal 7. So that is not an equivalent expression. What about 4 plus 6? Does that equal 4 times 1 plus 6? Let's see. Well, 4 plus 6 is 10. Over here on the other side, 1 plus 6 is 7. 4 times 7 is 28. So no, they are not equivalent expressions. Let's talk about the associative property. The associative property comes from the word associate, which means to group. Basically, it means you can move parentheses around and still get the same answer. Let's see. It works with adding or multiplying. It tells us that 2 plus 3 is the same as 2 plus 2 plus 3. Or that 3 times 4 times 5 is the same as 3 times 4 times 5. So let's see. Over here on the left, 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7. Over here on the right, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 3, that equals 7. So yes, they are equal. This is equivalent expressions because of the associative property. What about this one? 3 times 4 times 5, or 3 times 4 times 5. Let's see. On the left, 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. On the right, 4 times 5 is 20. Times 3 is also 60. So yes, these are equivalent expressions. Alright, let's try this another one. Is 1 minus 5 minus 2 the same as 1 minus 5 minus 2? Let's see. On the left, well, 5 minus 2 is 3, and 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So on the right, 1 minus 5 is negative 4, minus 2 is negative 6. No, these are not equivalent expressions. Alright, finally, let's look at 24 divided by 12 divided by 2. Does that equal 24 divided by 12 divided by 2? Let's see, 24 divided by 12 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And over on the right, 12 divided by 2 is 6. 24 divided by 6 is 3. So no, these are not equivalent expressions. This concludes our work with equivalent expressions. If you get a chance, go ahead and pack your stuff up and get ready to use this tomorrow in class. See you then.